Well, we are getting close to the fourth annual Shannon Valley Park Cornhole Tournament. It's happening. It's in conjunction with the HOA Oktoberfest. So there's going to be a lot happening down at the park Saturday, October 15th, starting at 4 o'clock. This cornhole tournament's been a fun event that the community has really gotten behind, especially this year. We've got 8 different sponsors, and we're going to talk about all of those sponsors in some other videos. But what I was able to do is get some of these sponsors, get a few minutes of their time, because we want to find out a little more about each one of the sponsors for the 4th annual cornhole tournament. In this video, I was able to get a few minutes with Mike Olm, owner of the Roofing Zone. Let's take a listen. Well, I have to say I'm real excited to have the owner of Roofing Zone, Mike Olm, here, right? Mike, how's business been so far in 2022 for you?
You know what? God's blessed us with a lot of business this year. It's a lot of these companies out there are having to go door to door to try to solicit the business, and I got to say we've just been blessed with a lot of referrals from different people. It just seems like referral goes to referral goes to referral, and plus, so we're doing a lot of work for those, and then we do a lot of work for different insurance companies here in town as one of their primary contractors.
Sure. So how would a homeowner know if they need to have their roof inspected?
Well, it's a lot of people go, I look at my roof, it doesn't look bad. I say, well, if you can figure that out from the ground, I want to hire you, because I've never been able to do that. At any rate, different things happen. If you get a large hailstorm that comes through, that's a good time to look at it. If you start seeing a bunch of roofing signs popping up in your neighborhood, that's another good reason to have it looked at, because obviously there's probably some damage in that area. If you have interior leaking, different places, that would be another reason to look at it. Plus, just in general, if your roof is over 5 years old, you should just have it looked at. If any big storm comes through, I would have it looked at. It doesn't. We do it for free. We just look at it to assess if you have damage. Some do, some don't. So it's always just a good measure. It's your most valuable asset, so you want to protect that.
You bet. Oh, most definitely. Now, I've heard some horror stories about dealing with the insurance companies, and I know you real well. We've done some business together, and you kind of spearhead that of working with the insurance agency and kind of helping them to see the need for repair. Talk a little bit about that.
I think the reason for that, Jeremy, is I'm actually a licensed insurance adjuster. So I have gone through the accreditations that all insurance agencies go through. I've also been all over the country. Both me and my youngest son are both licensed. So we've been all over the country for about 4 or 5 of the major insurance companies, assessing wind, hail, flood, and hurricane damage. So we've been on that side to where we've actually gone out for them and looked at it for them. So that way, it also gives us a good in with the adjusters. We know we've been on their side, and now we're on our side. So we just have a good relationship when we get together with them, so that we talk their language. And it seems to help a lot with getting roofs that maybe have been previously denied, that we work with them and get those things approved.
So what's the process? Someone calls you, say, hey, my roof is 8 years old, come out and inspect it. If you see that there's need for some repair, run me through the chain. What then happens after that?
Yeah, very good question. We do assess the damage first, and if they have adequate damage, we can actually help them file a claim with their insurance companies. We have a listing of most of the 800 numbers for the insurance companies, because you don't actually call your insurance agent. He takes your money, but he doesn't really do the assessment on the roofs.
I've seen that.
So what we would do, it's actually the catastrophe teams for each of the insurance companies. So we would call and file a claim. We would give them a little bit of information of what damage we did see on the roof. And at that point, they would file a claim with them, give us a claim number. And then usually 1 to 2 days after that, the insurance company will call the homeowner and say, one of our adjusters will be coming out to assess your property on next Tuesday at 3 o'clock.
Sure.
Okay. At that point, we have the homeowner call us and let us know when that appointment is set. So we want to be there to meet that adjuster. A lot of people don't do that sometimes, and then they get denied and they wonder why. That's why we want to make sure we don't get in the insurance adjuster's way. We are there just as a team. We're a team here. I'm working with them to get this thing looked at. And if they're not seeing the damage that we saw, we just point it out and show them the damage that we see so that they're aware of what we found. And then after that, after the roof is approved, the insurance company would send usually a first check to the homeowner for the actual cash value of the home.
Right.
They don't give you the whole thing anymore because they want to make sure you get the roof done. So after they do that, we get together the homeowner and actually help them choose a new material for their roof to make sure that's the best quality that they can have on that thing, and then move forward from there and then put the roof on.
Nice. And how long are you finding roofs in our neighborhood? How long do those roofs take? Typically?
You know, as far as I always tell people, usually I try to under promise and over deliver.
Sure.
So if a lot of the roofs in our neighborhood are very steep, you know, so it requires rope and harness, things, you know, for OSHA safetyness. So I tell them 2 days. Just an interesting thing, and you know this because we did your roof actually. So that was a real pleasure. But your neighbor, Mr. Nelson, he had a very steep roof, and unfortunately, with his layout of his house, they were not able to roof load the shingles. So they had to ground load those shingles on there. So that's you know, a lot of weight to be carrying up a ladder and getting up there. My crew, my number one crew, was on that, and those guys actually had that thing done in a day, which was unbelievable.
They were here early, and they stayed late until it got done, which I appreciate. Now I know you've been in roofing a long time. What made you decide to get into the roofing business of all the businesses that are out there?
Well, you know, I've actually either owned or operated about 4 other businesses. I started a printing company back in 1981 and had that, and that was a very good business for a lot of years. And you know, then about 15 years ago, you know, the internet came on board, so our business kind of went flat from that time. We lost quite a bit with the internet. So I was looking for a lucrative business that was recession proof, that was going to be here, that requires manual labor and is not going to change. So this roofing business has been a real good one for us. We have great people, a lot of good subcontractors and things. So it really makes it easy to manage the thing. Of course, you know, with roofs, it's always something different every day. You know, it's always a challenge.
Definitely. And I know you've lived in Shannon Valley for a number of years. What are some of the things you love about the community and the area that we live in?
You know, I've lived in Overland Park all my life. My folks moved into Overland Park in 1955, back on 82nd Antioch. And it was Antioch was a dirt road coming as far south as you could see. So, you know, down here at College Boulevard and 69 Alternate, I consider this the downtown Kansas City these days. You know, everything's moved out this way. You have easy access to highways. You have access to great schools, great restaurants, great shopping. The roads are in great shape. I mean, I can't ask for anything else. I'm happy. I'm really happy being here.
We are great. Well, hey, we are excited that you're one of the sponsors of the cornhole tournament. I know you're going to be down there. If people have any questions, would that be okay if they come up to you and kind of bend your ear for a little bit during the tournament?
Absolutely. I'm always open for a phone call or something, you know, and if they have a question, I'm more than happy to come and look at it and see if I can help them. It's like I tell people, I don't need your roof to pay my bills, which is, you know, that's bogus, really. But I mean, really, I don't need it. That's why I'm going to give you an honest evaluation. I'm going to say either you need one, you don't need one, or it's marginal call. That's the 3 answers I'm going to give you.
Wonderful. Well, I appreciate it. I do still have one of your signed. I just happen to bring it over to you.
You keep that. You can frame that one. Put that up.
I will do that.
Jeremy, thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you. All right. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Very good, sir. Have a good one. Bye.
You stayed all the way to the end. Watch these videos right here to learn more about things going on in Overland Park and Kansas City.